Welcome to the Where Do Gays Retire podcast, where we help you in the LGBTQ plus community find a safe and affordable retirement place. Join Mark Goldstein as he interviews others who live in gay-friendly places around the globe. Learn about the climate, cost of living, healthcare, crime and safety, and more. Now, here's your host, Mark Goldstein.
And welcome back to the Where Do Gays Retire podcast City Snapshot series. And I'm your host, Mark Goldstein. And today we're going to jet off, metaphorically, of course, to explore two European hidden gems, Olvera, Spain, and Elvas, Portugal. Both are picture-perfect towns with charm, affordability, and most importantly, a vibrant LGBTQ plus potential. If you tuned into our last episode, you heard Bruce Jaffe and Russ Warren share their retirement experiences in Spain and Portugal. Today, we're diving deeper into these countries, zooming in on these quaint destinations. So it's sort of like a little condensed version. So let's get into it. Okay. So let's talk about location and population. Starting with Olvera, Spain. It's located in the Cadiz province of Andalusia, Spain. This beautiful town is home to just under 8,000 residents, giving you that small town vibe. Think cobblestone streets, whitewashed houses, and sweeping views of rolling hills. God, that sounds nice. And then there's Elvas, nestled in Portugal's Alentejo region, but with a slightly larger population of 20,730 people. Famous for its UNESCO-recognized fortifications and rich history, Elvas offers a blend of rural charm and cultural depth. Okay, the weather. Olvera enjoys 300 sunny days per year, which is fantastic for soaking up the Andalusian sun. The region sees very little rain, about 21 to 31 and a half inches annually, and virtually no snow. It's a retiree's dream if you hate shoveling your driveways. Over in Elvas, the sun shines bright at about 252 days a year, pretty close, with slightly more cloudy days than Olvera. Like its Spanish counterpart, Elvas doesn't see snow and experiences around 20 inches of rain annually. Both towns scream, pack your sunglasses and ditch the snow boots. So let's get into the cost of living. Now let's talk about your wallet, because retiring in style is great, but you want to stretch that dollar, that euro, or that peso. In Olvera, the cost of living is incredibly low. A single family home can range anywhere from 98,550 euro to 158,400 euro. And when it comes to paying property taxes, you'll pay between 0.4% and 1.1% of the cadastral value. For example, a property worth $200,000 could mean annual taxes of 480 euro to 1,320 euro. Affordable, right? It sounds a lot more affordable than here in the US. So Elvas, on the other hand, also shines in affordability. The median home price is 153,000 euro, and property taxes here range from 459 euro annually for urban properties to 2010 for property purchase tax. Honestly, you spend more on coffee in New York than you would living in either of these towns. All right. So now that we got that under control, let's talk about the LGBTQ plus presence and resources. So what about the LGBTQ plus scene? In Olvera, Spain's overall LGBTQ population hovers around 6.9%. And while it's not a massive metropolis, it offers inclusivity, a welcoming vibe, and close-knit communities. Again, it doesn't matter whether you're gay, straight, or whatever. It's all accepted there. Spain also ranks high on the ILGA Europe Rainbow Map for LGBTQ plus equality, ensuring your rights are protected. Elvas has a similar story, with Portugal's LGBTQ plus population at about 9%. National organizations like ILGA Portugal and local resources provide support. So while Elvas might not have the gay bars of Lisbon, it's LGBTQ plus friendly and offers a safe and welcoming environment. So I don't think you can go wrong in anywhere really in Portugal or Spain as far as feeling safe and being protected with your rights as far as the LGBTQ plus community goes. All right, so let's talk a little bit about visas. This is crucial if you're dreaming of retiring in Olvera or Elvas. Here's the breakdown. So for Spain, I'll name off and I'll just read off a list of current visas that are available. So we have the non-lucrative visa. It's great for retirees or those with a passive income. Work visa, required if you have employment in Spain. They have an entrepreneur visa for starting an innovative business. There's a student visa for studying programs over 90 days. There's still the golden visas, but those are now limited for investments over 500,000 euros through this program, and that may be phased out soon. In fact, I understand I believe Portugal's is totally phased out. Not quite sure for investments. You will have to contact an expert in this field as far as visas are concerned. And Spain is abolishing the golden visa, but I understand that the actual law to abolish didn't pass yet. So you still might have a chance. Not quite sure. Again, speak to a professional regarding visas. They also have a digital nomad visa for remote workers with income around $2,000 to $2,500 per month. There's a family reunification visa for joining family members or already living in Spain. There's a highly qualified professional visa for skilled professionals with job offers. There's an intra-company transfer visa for employees of multinational corporations. There's also a research visa tailored for academics and researchers. And we'll talk about visas for Portugal. Very similar, although I think it's easier to get a visa in Portugal than it is Spain. But anyway, D1 visa, a subordinate work visa for those with a Portuguese job offer. D2 visa, entrepreneur visa for freelancers and entrepreneurs. D3 visa, highly qualified professional visa for specialized professionals. D7 visa, which most retirees will be interested in, is the passive income visa, ideal for retirees with passive income. So in other words, if you're a retiree and just have your Social Security and pensions coming in, the D7 visa would work for you. Digital nomad visa for remote workers with stable income. And again, we don't know what that stable income means. Please contact a visa professional. Also, a student visa for studying in Portuguese institutions. They also have a family reunification visa for family members or residents of citizens. Job seeker visa for those looking for employment in Portugal. That I've never heard of either, but it's listed. Golden visa, now terminated, but used to offer residency through investment. Religious purposes visa, another one I have not heard of, for engaging in religious activities or training. So trust me, whether you're sipping sangria or wine in Spain or enjoying port wine in Portugal, you'll want to get this paperwork sorted before moving. contact a professional to make the process smoother. Most visas start in the country that you currently live in. So if you live in the United States, there are certain places that you're allowed to, certain embassies that you go to start the visa process. Okay, now that we got visas out of the way, let's talk about walkability, transportation, arts, and culture. All right, so we're shifting to lifestyle. In Olvera, walkability scores a solid 6 out of 10. It's not great, but it's a compact layout. It's great for exploring on foot, but the hilly terrain makes you, might make you second guess. Public transportation is limited, so a car will come in handy. Elvas offers a similar walking vibe, especially in its historic center. You can even hop on a train to Lisbon, just 3 hours away. Both towns are rich in history and culture, with castles, churches, museums that will keep your weekends interesting for a while. Okay, food and dining. One of my favorite subjects. Why is it that I always love to hear about food? I don't know. So anyway, foodies rejoice. Olvera has 35 brick and mortar restaurants, while Elvas offers around 100. In Spain, expect tapas, paella, and churros. Love churros. Churros dipped in chocolate. I've never actually had one, but I want one for breakfast. In Portugal, it's all about codfish dishes and pastel de nata. Your taste buds are in for a treat in either town. So pretty good meals. I remember Bruce saying he wasn't crazy about Portuguese food. And I've heard that from a few other people. But again, it's a matter of taste. So, where would you choose? Olvera, with its sunny charm and low property taxes, or Elvas, with its historic vibes and Portuguese pastries? Both offer affordability, safety, and inclusivity, making them ideal retirement spots. Whichever you choose, you can't go wrong. I also want to point out, last time we talked about language. Again, just as a reminder, wherever you go, whether it be Portugal or Spain or wherever in the world, it's a great idea to try to learn the language of the country that you're going to and you're going to spend some time in, either as an expat or as an immigrant for the rest of your life. So even if you make the attempt, if you're learning Spanish or you're learning Portuguese, and you make the attempt to try, the locals will so much appreciate that. They will probably, if they do know English, they'll change it over to English, and it'll just be a better experience. So you are definitely going to miss out on a lot of things if you are not familiar with the language. That doesn't mean that you have to be fully proficient. You just have to have at least the basics. Will make you so much better off. So with that, whichever place you choose, again, you can't go wrong. So thank you again for tuning into this episode of the Where Do Gays Retire podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and join the conversation on Facebook. So we have a Facebook group, and we also have our website at www.wheredogaysretire.com. Until next time, keep dreaming, exploring, and finding your perfect place to retire. Ciao for now. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Where Do Gays Retire podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe to our podcast And consider making a donation by clicking the coffee cup on any page at www.wheredogaysretire.com. Each cup of coffee that you buy costs $5 and goes towards helping us continue the podcast. Thank you for your continued support.